We're here in Chicago, and I just want to give you all a big update. It's been a minute since I've done a live, just because I'm not very good at them, partly because I don't take it too seriously. Um, I hope to get serious about it at one point, but today is not that day. So I guess the first thing we'll start with is as I take down some of my stuff, I'm gonna flip the camera here. So we've got some orgonite pyramids. These are super beautiful. I am gonna show you some inventory from what's going on with me in the Chicago markets. So I've got this bad boy right here. You can see the gold flakes up top. Then stuffed underneath is some what is that? Citrine? Yeah, some citrine and then some scrap wire, an assortment of copper. It's all copper based, but there's copper and then gold plated and silver plated. And then fourth tier or lower tier is the more citrine, just some raw citrine points. And then underneath, we have some obsidian arrowheads in the corners, getting a little bit of a geometry, as well as scraps of shungite. And then you could see those blobs there. There's one. I think that one's actually obsidian, and then the other one here is those two guys are hematite. So some hematite, shungite, and obsidian as the base of this crystal. I put that on my market table for 100, just like this one, which is actually a little bit larger than the other one. So we'll do a size comparison real quick. You can see it's slightly larger. This one has the scrap wire, gold-plated scrap wire, a mix of just the wire and some wire coils. You could see some chain there as well. Let's get the focus. And then a big space with a few of the silver plated, doing some coils just floating around in there. And then we have a giant Veracruz amethyst in the center that's coiled around in the copper wire, as well as a bunch of loose scrap copper wire, copper coils. Just some fun kind of rough draft, doing a little experimenting with the orgonite and resin pyramids. I'm asking 100 for each of them, despite this being slightly larger. This one has clearly a lot more crystals, a lot more going on. Got my little dish of raw amethyst and some citrine mixed in there as well. This is like just a aesthetically pleasing display. Then, of course, I have some smaller organites. I'm asking 15 each for these guys. This as well has the gold flakes, and then right in the center is another Veracruz amethyst. You could see it poking out right there. And I've also got some resin. We've got some, if you want to call it an ashtray or jewelry container, just some fun little resin works. And then you can see the CTA for those not local to Chicago. That CTA is the train or the loop, the famous Chicago loop. So I figured this might be an appropriate thing for the Chicago markets. I've also got the throwback. This is I call it the nostalgia cube. It's just an assortment of different little knickknacks. You can see a little ducky in there, Harito's bottle cap. We've even got a little G-Pay, as well as some feet charms, a little butterfly, and even a little baby. What is up with this focus? I mean, gosh. Anyways, I call it the nostalgia cube because to me it reminds me of these 90s I Spy books. If you're familiar with them, they're pretty fun picture books where you spy with your little eye a baby, and then you have to find the baby, or a seashell, and then you find the seashell, or a Lego, so on and so forth. So this one is a half dome. Obviously, it's not a cube, but it's still of that nostalgia theme. And then I've got just your standard magical bag of magical crystals. These are all just tumbled, assorted, various crystals. I sell those bags for 10 each. Some beautiful hand painted passport protectors. So we'll open that up inside, and you could see you could pack your passport in there, and you could see the price tag there. You could put your credit cards or ID or whatever else you want to keep safe in your passport protector. I'm not going to really get into this, but there's just an assortment of all these different earrings. So you can see it's a bit of a new style. I think my latest wire wrapping tutorial video that I uploaded did teach how I do this style of wrap. So if you're curious, it's pretty simple. I mean, the video I did for, showing both of these, it's I don't do videos where I cut and edit just to show the best footage. It's just all streamed from start to finish, and that video took about 30 minutes. So if you have 30 minutes, you could certainly do your own earrings if you have the material. Of course, you need the wire, the pliers, and the gems. This one is a fun display that I have, and looks like one of them might have fallen off, but these are my more advanced wraps, which I have done a few videos that show how I do this wrap. There might be an official name for this style right here, but I call it the triple wrap. If you know, then you know that it's a wire wrapped around a wire, and then that wrapped wire wraps around some more wires. Hence why I call it the triple wrap. This one is a labradorite. Here's the back side. And then the other one down here, this is a type of quartz. I'd have to double check, but I believe it's called a fire quartz, or maybe even a foxtail quartz. And again, it has that triple wrap. Just kind of going through my bags, see what we got. I've also got some rings here. These are all different styles of rings. Got some raw amethyst ones here, some gemstone. I think these are probably, I find these to be the most beautiful, although these do seem to be more popular. And then you've also got the simple wrap. I believe this one specifically, actually, I did a wire wrap tutorial to show you how I made this exact ring with the little charm and the spirals. You could also include a bead if you don't like the charm, so you get 2 spirals and a bead, or you could just even keep it simple and do just the spirals. So I've got lots of those, and I'm probably not gonna take too much time going through this entire box here, but you can see I have some more wraps. These two, this one is just a flat, it's not a cabochon, but it's a cut amethyst, cut and tumbled. And you can see there's an elegant design. It's a relatively new design. This right here, that's not part of it. That's the dangly, so that I could hang it on the tip of the tree as a display. These trees are ineffective. I'm trying to get into the habit of towering my tables, because if you are familiar with how it works at the markets, you have to pay a market fee. I apologize for that noise pollution and the sirens. I do live in Chicago, so that's pretty standard. But these tree displays are part of the towering effect, because if you are paying a vendor fee and it's $100 plus per table, then and you only get your six by I don't know, I think it's like a 6x3 table or something, like a foldable table, then you definitely want to utilize as much space as possible. So with these displays, I get to show off my more fancy wraps. So again, this one is another style of the triple wrap. And then I also have one that's same design as the amethyst there. This one is just an agate, but you can see it's got this nice woven frame. And then to really lock in the stone using just the wire tension. I don't use glue or anything when I'm working with or when I'm building my jewelry. Everything is just held together through wire tension. And then this is also, I'll just show you this last one since the lid was already busted open. This, I'm calling this design of pendant the toroidal flow, because what it is, you can see how there's two wires going spiraling in one direction against the stone, and then when you come down to the bottom, it just wraps around and then opens back up and then ends up going in the opposite direction. So this is the toroidal flow. It's an actual thing, and it's inspired by the flow of the magnetic flow of the Earth itself. How, if you imagine, like, say this right here is the Earth, so there's an outer flow that goes around in this direction, and then it actually shoots up in the middle of the Earth, and it changes direction, but the direction of the flow itself doesn't change. I could probably draw it out on a piece of paper, but I won't do that. Not this time anyway, maybe another time. I also have in this bag here a bunch of other stuff. Let's see, we've got some crowns and some headbands and some beautiful dragons. I'm really getting into the resin dragons. These are another popular one on the table. I sell them for 20 bucks a pop. They don't bend, or they're not necessarily a toy that you play with. It's more of just a figurine. And, oh, did this one? Hope it didn't get warped. Maybe it's just the table's not totally flat. But as you can see, there's some dye in there and then some glitter. So this is what it looks like on the bottom here. And I've got two more. I'm about to start working on some more of those to get ready for more market preps. So these are the headbands that I'm talking about, and it's actually, if you notice, that's actually a similar design to those pendants that I was showing you a moment ago. So here, I'll put it on my head. Won't fit exactly because it's not necessarily built for my size head, but you could see how, also I'm wearing the beanie, so you can see how it just goes right over the head like that, nice and easy. And then these ones are the same idea, same concept. Oops, gotta flip it around. So these ones are the same concept, but they're just a little bit more extra with these crystals. These are what they call aura quartz crystals. So they are actual quartz crystals, but they have been acid washed, and that's what gives them their color and also that flashy rainbow iridescence. But you can see, if you look closely, there's still that woven design. That's the base of it. So the crowns and the bands are pretty similar. I've also been working on these Tree of Life pendants. I know that they're popular marketing online and they look really pretty, but so far no takers at the markets yet. And we just got some wood here. That's another part of the display, all my other random stuff. These are actually a gift, so shout out to, I forget the vendor's name. Well, China's the vendor's name, but I forget the what their business is called, but they do some really cool scrub knitting work. These are some scrubs, so you could use it in the shower or clean it on your dishes. And I'm always looking to support other artists when I'm at the markets, although I also have to be mindful of making sure that I can afford to not just go spend money on a table just to go hang out and blow all the rest of my money on everybody else's stuff and whatnot. But also, so here is, this is another resin piece. So we've got these are fake gold chips you could get at the craft store. And then the resin here, what makes this so beautiful is I switched up the colorings. So instead of using, I think they're in here, instead of using these Sigwan dyes, Sigwan is the brand, so this one is a grass green, is actually the one that I used for that green dragon you saw a moment ago. So those dragons have been a combination of these glitters here, also provided by Sigwan. You can see I don't really have a lot left in this vial. So this dye and this glitter is how I made those dragons. And then mica powder is how I got this design. So we'll open up, I've got actually conveniently right here, this is what the mica powder looks like in its container. And then when it's ready, I just tap a little bit of this powder in a resin cup. So say I were to pour some fresh resin in here, and while it's still liquid, I'll dump the mica powder in. And in fact, you could see even in the bottom here, there's a little bit of, it's solid, it's hardened now. But this is actually, that was the cup that I used to create this beautiful frame, or I guess, yeah, frame, because it's not a photo necessarily. And I really like the concept of making it three-dimensional. That's going to be something that I'm producing more of. And then if you're curious, how did I get this super beautiful, like, swirly zigzag design? Basically what I'll do is, with some scrap wire like I got right here, this is actually the same one that I used. Obviously it shouldn't have this crust at the end. That's just the residue from when I did this work. Is after I poured the resin, I just kind of guided a flow with this wire, kind of creating the swirly design, so that when the resin dries and settles, it holds or maintains this cool effect. I've also got just a abalone dish here with loose crystals. I sell those for $1 each, and or 3 for 2. Try to work out some sales deals. Those are always great. That's always a popular one, especially for people on a budget. Right here, I'm working on another pyramid. So in the middle there, you can see those are some labradites. Let's see if we can see. Well, it's pretty murky. You can't really see it from there. But when I finish this, as you can see, I'm pouring it in layers. And I've also got the golden coil. And this one is a work in progress, not done yet. I'm not too concerned with finishing that one off immediately, because I still have the other 2 giant pyramids to sell first. And then you can see I've got little charms over there. And this guy I just kind of did for fun. I'd like to sell it, but I'm not sure what I could sell it for. He's got his obsidian shield. I used another one of those arrowheads. He's got, of course, a amethyst head, and then just a wire-wrapped body with some scrap wire for a sword on his other hand there. It's just a fun guy. I want to, like I said, I want to sell him at a market, but haven't really figured out a price for it yet. It was kind of more just something experimental. But if you have an idea, if you'd like to give your personal, professional, appraised opinion, drop it in the comments. Let me know what you think this little wire guy would be worth. I also, at that last market, I also accumulated these beautiful dark labradites. Lapis lazuli beads that I intend to work into more earrings and rings. This is the whole workstation. I know it's a mess. I've also got these. I painted these a long time ago, back in like 2022 when I was in Costa Rica. It was during the lockdown. I was stuck in San Jose. I've got the other one over here. Really cool design, although I haven't really tried to push on selling them. I do intend to sell them at one point. If you're interested, again, hit me up. I am open to negotiating prices, just like the little wire guy. I haven't picked out a price yet. Got a little resin, mica powder resin turtle here. Came from this turtle mold. And so that's what's going on for me currently right now. And now I would like to transition and sit down and talk to y'all about the Djinnstreasure vision for the future and what I would like to accomplish. And the vision is to acquire some land outside of the U.S. Right now, we're looking at El Salvador or maybe Puerto Rico. My wife, she's Salvadoran, so she's kind of has her heart set on El Salvador, but she also likes the idea of Puerto Rico. Um, I like the idea of Africa, but I haven't been able to sell her on it yet. And a part of that is because neither one of us have been to Africa. I just have this intuitive gut feeling that there's some opportunity out there in order to kind of escape the crazy Western world that's just kind of collapsing on itself right now. I mean, you've got those files. Another batch of those files have been released, and they're strongly implicating all of our world leaders that it is truly, it's all of them. I mean, and the celebrities as well. Like everybody's been to the island, and you know what I'm talking about. And I'm just trying to get away from that. Like I'm tired of living in this country that is run by these types of individuals. So yeah, maybe Africa's the move. Maybe El Salvador. Really, I just think anywhere but here at this point. And so that's the mission is that we're looking into accumulating some land right now to begin to grow a permaculture based community, artisan community. So the dream is to have like some volunteer. We're gonna be building and developing it all on our own, and or not just on our own. In fact, that's kind of why I'm bringing this to your attention now, is because this is a bit of a call to action. We're looking for individuals who are interested in becoming part of this community, who have kind of the same idea of becoming an expat of the U.S. or of whatever circumstance, whatever country or circumstances you're in. If you're looking to get out of it, if you're tired of it like I am, then join us. Consider an alternative lifestyle, and what that entails is either if you're interested in helping funding this initiative, or if you don't necessarily have the capital to invest or fund the operation, then you can. The other option would be to join us, being boots on the ground, as they say, and they call it blood, sweat, equity, which is where you would come and volunteer for a certain amount of hours or a certain amount of days or whatever, and use that as your attribution to join the community and get yourself set up. I'm sorry, I got distracted because still here. I love it. The George Carlin. It's a big club and you're not in it. Yes, 100%. I agree with that. I love George Carlin. I think that, he's the godfather of the woke comedians. And it's funny because woke is really, these days, turned into something that might disgust George Carlin, the whole cancel culture, and he was against that. But I digress. I want to get back onto the vision for the this beautiful opportunity that we me and my wife, we've talked about it. We're open to we understand that it's not something that the two of us alone are going to be able to accomplish. So we're looking for people who are ready to build, people who ideally people who have experience in building, maybe specifically with bamboo or renewable regenerative materials, and we're looking to reset our lives and reset it from the and rebuild it from the ground up, which means like completely starting over. And maybe for a lot of people that there's a lot of resistance, because it would require you to be giving up everything that you have, more or less. But I think honestly these days, like, I feel I've been feeling this way for a long time, and I talk to people all the time, especially the younger generations, who are also interested in something like this. So we are officially opening the doors to this opportunity. Um, I I probably should have put a link in the description for my website, my Djinnstreasure website, but it's pretty easy if you look up. That's my name. Connor Larkin is my name, so it's spelled CONORLARKIN. So Connor Larkin presents Djinnstreasure.com, and it's Djinnstreasure, just like the name of my channel here, DJINNS. And I hope you know how to spell treasure, TREASURE. So Connor Larkin presents Djinnstreasure.com. Come find me, come reach out. You could also reach out to me here on YouTube or on my Instagram or my TikTok. It's all the same tag, Djinnstreasure, the one and only. So another thing that, now that I've talk to you a little bit about the future, and I'll talk to you a little bit about what I'm currently working on with the markets and stuff. Um, the other thing that I want to talk about is for people who are interested in beginning their content creator journey, because that is also something that we are interested in collaborating with. In the past, I've done a few lives where it was me and my roommate just doing a vlog, or like a podcast, a video podcast, and we've just talked about various things going on in life, and it's always been fun. And it's hard to get people who are interested in doing this, but I'm always open to, if you've ever thought about doing this, but you're not sure, and you definitely don't feel the confidence to start out with something big, or like with a big name, because it's definitely hard, especially if you've never done it before. Um, I'm your guy. I'm interested. I'm interested. Doesn't matter who you are or what your views are. Especially, I would say, even if your views are contrary to mine, that always makes the podcast more interested when you hear two opposing views of thought. Um, so yeah, if you're interested in doing content creation and you want to, that sounds like something that's interesting to you, reach out to me. Let me know. Um, I'm gonna read Still Ears. I'd love to visit your colony, but I'm an old man and I'm not running away. No disrespect. I thought about it many times, but I wish you great success. Well, I appreciate that. And honestly, I don't feel age discriminatory. I know I've got an uncle who he gave it his shot at being an expat. He decided he was gonna ditch the U.S. and go live on an expat commune in Costa Rica, and it was not a success story. I don't think he even made it out of San Jose, the capital, which is, he probably found a hotel near the airport and came back rather quickly with the claim, oh, well, they don't speak any English down there, so it's hard for me to network. And it's like, well, yeah, I mean, it's not it's not the U.S. Spanish is the dominant language out there, and if you didn't speak any Spanish, then what were you doing? What was your plan? But anyways, that's not you, Still Ear. That's that guy. That's my uncle. But I guess my point is, it's never too late. You're never too old. Although it sounds like maybe you're also not necessarily interested. I will say, I know you meant no disrespect, but I do feel like there's a subtle jab, especially when you put it in quotes, the use of the word colony. I mean, I'm not looking to colonize anyone. It's more of a community oriented thing. So it's a call to action for people who are interested in starting up a permaculture way of living or alternative way of living, but also artisans and content creators. I think that it's gonna, if I could get a combination of all three, that would be the trifecta to really make my colony a true success story. Um, yeah, well, I guess that's all I've got for now. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Big shout out. So big shout out to Zayla Dub and Still Ear and anyone else in the chat, Kamala and Nuri. I appreciate you all. I love you all. And yeah, just double down on the emphasis. I still have love for you, Still Ear. Um, yeah, I wish you the best as well. I wish you great success. Peace.